Good morning, Drive Time. Welcome to the next edition of The Dish with Dawn. We're super happy to be with you this morning. As you know, we sent out a request to all of you asking you what questions you have for Dawn, and so we have them here, and Dawn's in the hot seat, ready to answer your questions. So welcome, Dawn.
Well, good morning. Good morning, Jamie. Good morning, everyone. I know everyone has been anxiously waiting for the next version of The Dish, so here we are. Fresh off of the travel road here, out visiting a lot of locations. We're going to talk about that in a minute, but looking forward to meeting the rest of you. But let's get going.
Okay, so the first set of questions are the hard questions. So here we go. Question 1, iPhone or Android?
I'm an Apple products person, so I'm an iPhone guy, and we're an iPhone family.
So half of you are happy and half of you not so much.
There you go.
Okay, next hard question. What is your favorite movie or TV series that you will watch over and over again?
Well, I'm a sitcom guy, so I'm a Seinfeld fanatic, so I can recite Seinfeld episodes, and I like that. And I'm also kind of a sports movie, baseball movie, so movies like The Rookie, Field of Dreams, The Natural, any of those are my favorites that I can just watch over and over again.
All right, question 3. What is your favorite part of working here at Drive Time?
You know, my most favorite parts is I get really inspired by everyone that I've interacted with, and it just is, you can't wait to get up and get here every day. So the inspiration piece is really a big deal to me, and I think it comes from, you know, the attitudes and the creativity of everyone around, and that's across the entire organization. So it's very inspirational, and you know, it's meaningful work. You know, we're doing meaningful work every day, and when you're doing that, it inspires you greatly, and so that's been the most important piece for me right now.
Okay, well, good. Well, now it's time for the easy questions. What locations have you visited so far?
So we started out in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
We went from Vegas, and we did get to see half the stores, and I promise I feel so terrible that living here in the Phoenix area that I haven't been to the others, but that's coming right around the corner, so stay tuned. We went on a tour to the Midwest. We did Chicago, we did Columbus, we did Cleveland. Went from Cleveland to Indianapolis. That was 2 weeks ago, correct? And then we headed last week. We had a meeting out out east. We headed to the Virginia, Maryland market. The weather really stopped us from getting all the way there. So we headed south, and we went to the west coast of Florida and hit the Tampa market more recently. And it was a great visit, just fresh back from that over the weekend. And I did do a little bit of undercover boss before I started on the east coast of Florida. So those of you that haven't met me, I did visit the Lauderdale Lake store and Miami Hialeah Miami Lake store. Did not get down to Homestead. So been around, and my goal is to get out and, you know, see and reach and touch everyone. Well,
good. Well, that will lead us to our next question, which is, what are your thoughts so far? What's your perception of the company and the people that you've met?
You know, I kind of carried over what I said when we opened up. I really believe the enthusiasm of the entire organization is fantastic, and when you see and experience that energy and that enthusiasm, it inspires a lot of people, and it's fun. It's fun to be out there where you can see, feel, touch what's really going on, and so that was the piece that I really look forward to, and a big takeaway from our visits. The other part is, and there's been some questions around where the opportunity is, and you know, early on I've learned that we're a very well-run, systematic organization, and my goal is to now take some of the systematic and blend it with the logical and the practical. Mm-hmm. And it really is back to that customer piece we've been talking about, and how you blend that customer experience, that real live human touch with the systematic, and we bring those two pieces of it together. Who knows where we can go?
Sky's the limit.
Yeah.
All right. So one of the things that we asked you when you were submitting your questions is to define the culture in one word. And so I was able to share those your feedback with Dawn earlier. So Dawn, can you sort of compare and contrast what you've seen while you've been out in the field versus what you got back from the responses from everybody about how they define the culture?
Sure. So one, thanks for the input. I think that's very important. But before we get into kind of the things that describe our culture that you have offered and volunteered and we've witnessed, I think when you talk about culture, what does that really mean? And if you look up culture in the dictionary, it really is about what the behaviors and the beliefs of a group is. Mm-hmm. And so what we're learning is how do we behave and what do we really believe in. And one of the strong things that we've seen as we get about out in the field is we have strong beliefs in our future, we have strong beliefs in our product, we have strong beliefs in our business model, and then you get underneath of it, and you all have provided the words that describe that, and things like integrity and honesty and trust and transparency, and then other words that are more centered around team, mm-hmm. and things like fun and innovation and empowerment, and I think the most important part is I'm experiencing the fun. Okay. And you can see that we enjoy what we do, and that's translating into a good work environment, which really defines and describes our culture. So thanks for sending this stuff in. We're going to continue to talk about it a lot, and not only talk about it, but try to do things and mold things. And most organizations, some cultures come from the top down. I believe the cultures come from within. And so, that part of being out and experiencing it and creating it and what's created on your behalf is a real big deal to us.
Well, good. All right. And then the last question I have for you is, what are you most excited about?
I'm excited about a lot of things. One of the things that I'm most excited about is as I've got out and visit, and you see the environments that we've created, and I say we, I've not been a big part of it. By the way, I celebrated my 60-day anniversary on Saturday, so
congratulations!
Yay me! And but one of the things that's really been fun to see is that environment that we talked about. What we have is we can have success and we can work towards success, but creating an environment to be successful is really where the big piece of this is. And I see a lot of it, and I want to make sure that that's sustainable, and we continue to work at it and understand the importance of it. So that environment for success is what I'm most excited about, number one. And the other thing is that we're starting to use words like dominance. I really believe in what we do, and a goal of ours, and this will be a theme throughout, is not only having that environment, but where we can dominate the space that we're in. And I absolutely believe that we're on the road there, we're on the right track, and that we can really dominate our space, and in a meaningful way. Not just to be the 600-pound gorilla, that's not the goal here, but to dominate what we do in a very meaningful way.
Well, good. Well, that's all the questions we have time for today. So if we didn't answer your question that you submitted, that will be on the next issue of The Dish with Don. But we thank you so much for submitting all of your questions and comments to Don, and we hope that you continue to participate and engage with us as well. And thank you, Don, for another fabulous episode of The Dish with Don.
Great, thank you. And let's finish up May very strong. Have a great and safe Memorial Day, and we'll be back in front of you soon.